To cover the New York State budget, millions and millions of dollars are going to help support refugee services, including many right here in Western New York.
2 on Your Side's Liz Lewin spoke to someone who resettled here in Buffalo not long ago and knows the value of this type of funding. Hello, Liz.
Hi, Scott and Mary Alice. It was a really eye-opening conversation. Over 6,000 refugees have resettled here in Buffalo since 2002, and that number, as we know, is expected to keep growing. Now, the resettlement journey is a challenging one. Bijou Bahati is one of them, and she now works for Jewish Family Services, one of the 4 major resettlement agencies that we have right here in Western New York that will benefit from the millions of dollars set aside in state funding.
We have to be mindful that trauma is inherently part of the refugee story.
Bijou Bahati was born in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and has lived in Western New York along with her husband and 2 children for the past 3 years. But her new life didn't start here.
I was 15 at the time when my family was resettled in Burlington, Vermont. But my family first left the Congo and went to Tanzania, where we lived in a refugee camp for approximately 4 years before we were resettled in Burlington, Vermont.
Which at first wasn't easy. The change was hard. Organizations like Jewish Family Services, Catholic Charities, Journeys End Refugee Services, and the International Institute of Buffalo work daily to help families like Bijou's adjust and thrive in their new communities.
Coming to America is a very exciting experience, but the circumstances in which why people and myself came to America were not fun ones. So we left because of war, and it was exciting to be given an opportunity to resettle and establish ourselves in a new country and start a new life.
Once approved by the United Nations Refugee Agency, most refugees have only 90 days to make the most of their resettlement money from the government before it runs out. So, Senator Sean Ryan and Assemblymember John Rivera petitioned for Governor Kathy Hochul to boost funding in the state budget. And that's what she did. $6 million will now go to resettlement agencies through the New York State Enhanced Services to Refugees program. That's double the amount delivered last year.
Could you just imagine being that family, spending 24 hours traveling, showing up at the Buffalo airport, and then having a representative from Jewish Family Services there holding a poster with your name on it? Because of funding like this, we're going to be ready for those groups. We're going to be able to make it a nice transition for those families coming out of a war zone, being traumatized, to settle right here in the city of good neighbors.
Now, in terms of state funding, Buffalo has resettled more refugees than any other community in New York State. So local refugee agencies will likely continue to see a large chunk of some of that funding coming right here in the near future. In the Information Center, Liz Lewin, Channel 2 News.